99% of the time they'll just be sniffing around the ground looking for food people have dropped in those areas. But every now and then they get fixated on a person, okay? Or if they start showing interest in you, okay? There's a few things you can do. There are things called dingo sticks on the island, just bits of orange conduit in boxes around certain places. A lot of the time, there's none there because people pick them up, stick them in their cars and never put them back. So you can walk with those, and if a dingo does get too close, you can give them a bit of a whack on the backside. Okay, it's a new thing we're trialling. We're trying to make the dingoes a bit more scared of us. Okay, and what that does, that protects the dingoes and it protects us. Okay, because they stick further away. There are a lot of dingoes around. Quite often there'll be dingo rangers there keeping a good eye on them and educating people that are getting too close to the dingoes. So, okay, first of all, no running. Okay, walk as a group. Now, if a dingo does come up to your group, don't crowd around it. Always give it a way out. Don't crouch down. Don't get down at their level. Always stand above them. It's all about dominance with dingoes. If you stand above them, make yourself look big. You can cross your arms. Okay, that will make them sort of think twice about making any move. Now, I don't think we've got any young kids with us today, so normally I say keep your kids within arm's reach when you're on the beach. Okay. When it first opened in 1991, 92, it opened as an eco-friendly resort. I have 9. So it opened as an eco-friendly resort. It opened to about 400 guests per night. It's changed ownership and had a bit of work done throughout the years, and it can now house up to about 800 guests per night. So it is a pretty big resort. So when we come this afternoon back here, the tide will be right out to the end of the ramp, boat ramp. Still not high tide yet for another couple of hours. So we've still got a rising tide for a while. Over here, put in 4 drives and let my other tour guides go through. The beach will be a very good day today. I think the beach is going to be a bit blowy and there might be a few showers going through. But we'll sort that out. So we'll go and do a rainforest walk, we'll have our lunch and then we'll head across to the eastern beach. Of vlogging here on the island. most of the logging, about 95% of the logging, was done by the government. Now the government never put a timber mill here on the island. So it had to take all its timbers off the island to be milled or to be processed. So it was all taken up around where Maryborough is today. There were timber mills in a place called Dundathu, which is just shy of Maryborough, just sort of more on the eastern side of Maryborough, and Maryborough itself, there was some timber mills there. So all the timber mills were there because they were doing a lot of logging around the Cooloola coast, which is basically on the southern side of Maryborough all the way down to Gympie. So that was pretty much the most central place to have the timber mills. Have we got a dingo down here? We might have. I'm going to stop for a reason. Have a look. No, we do have a little male dingo wandering around here, been wandering around here the last few days. Alright, so we'll drop quite steeply down off the sand dunes. So it gives you an idea on how high up in the sand dunes we are. Now as we do our next drive, we'll talk about our logging history here on the island. Anyone hazard a guess on how old these are? 20. Pretty much on the money, 95 years of age. Now, see that line? One of our tour guides has drawn a line around there. That would have been the size of the trees that they were taking down when they originally came here. 2,000-year-old one. So this is only 95. To give you an idea, this one's about 16 years of age. So they were massive trees that they were taking down. Now, as you can see, tall ship masts. Because they're light, they're flexible, incredibly strong. And as you can see, they don't have any knots or any weak points anywhere up. So okay, so that's why they don't fall over very often, because they do have a really deep root and deep and wide. So you can see the spread of the canopy, that is the spread of the roots below the ground. Off the sides of the valley, through the leaf litter, and has stained the water a bit of a colour. Normally it's crystal clear. A lot of people don't even realise there's water in the creek when we haven't had rain for a bit. So all this water, it's all rainwater that has seeped down through the sand, got to the water table, built up a bit of pressure, and has come up as a spring. On average, that process takes about 100 years. So this water, rainwater, has been filtered through sand for about 100 years. 10 degrees. So it doesn't affect the water quality at all, and it's actually quite healthy in this environment. So it's normally a problem when the water's stagnant or lots of nutrients in the water, okay? But that's fine, it never really takes hold. So that's still quite young, relatively young. Here by the loggers. Now they were planted here for a reason. They were going to be telegraph poles, but they never became telegraph poles, so they just get fallen apart. Now they're a rose gum. We call them a flooded gum, because when it rains, water runs down the tree trunks and turns the tree trunks green as water runs down it. As soon as the water stops running down it, they go white again. So, and like most eucalyptus trees, they will lose their bark at least once a year. So about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, we had a change in temperature, and that tells the tree, okay, it's time to lose its bark. So within about 3 weeks, it'll drop all its bark, and so it'll look like this, and over the next year or so, it'll grow its bark again. The pine, okay? It's pretty special because they have the largest pine cone of any pine tree. Their pine cone is $1. Yeah. And what they do is they feed on a lot of the pine needles. As the pine needles fall down, it just all rots down, the water and the pine needles. And my mum had one and she used to feed it banana peels and tea leaves. Okay, so you can feed it those fire and things like that. Okay. Now, yep. Now you've got. Yep. Cinnamon myrtle. Don't chew it. Very nice. Sorry? I think they pretty much sit there and just pile the sand up around them. They must stake them down a little bit, I think. Yeah. But they tried a few different ways of sort of fixing up the tracks. In the Wide Bay region, here on the island, there was about 300 to 400 Indigenous people living here permanently on the island. Now that was broken up between 3 different groups or 3 different clans. The main clan that we talk about are the Butchula people, and they inhabited this centre part of the island. And for a while they lived where we just had lunch. That used to be one of their areas that they had their main camp. Now, see some dingoes just this side of the fence line down there. There's some berries that these dingoes absolutely love, and they hang around eating the berries. So normally you're pretty lucky to see them around here. They love the I'll move a bit further forward for you guys back. Yep. This is just a young one, probably this year's pup. I can't see if it's got a tag on it. They normally only tag them after about 6 months at a certain weight. So we should see heaps out on the beach we have in the last few days. So we'll probably come back through here this afternoon, and quite often they'll still be here. So we probably won't have too much beach to start with, because we'll have a fairly high tide still, and we'll have that wind pushing the tide even higher. So we'll see how we go, but the beach should get better as the day goes on, or the afternoon drags on. Welcome to 75 Mile Beach, guys.